From episode 39 of the Mainly Golf Show, I'm once again Jack Milner, joined by Hep. No, Marv. God knows where he is. He's probably counting his Bitcoin losses or his crypto meme coin losses over
Crazy.
the last week. It's been a very bad day for the crypto plays. Bad day if you're following our tips after a wonderful start last week. Hep, I think I put one of, was it Stephen Fisk at 200 to 1? It
You
was
did
tied
12
8,
places. Did
entering the
he
last
come?
round. He didn't collect tied 19 next to a late bogey. The other two were, is it
Yeah,
Hoey?
yeah. And Hoey who
Um,
missed the cut. You had Kevin Roy who top
tied
20, I think.
14th. Alejandro
Yeah.
Tosti tied 12th. All at, I think,
Oh,
80s, 100s, 200s.
so yeah,
But
another
given the manner of the way the
losses.
tournament shaped up with the PGA, the 20-year-old bomb in South Africa, and you look at the leaderboard, do you think you'd say going forward, hitting bombers around Mexico, it's probably, I know the winner was a 500 to 1 shot with, Mr. Campbell, surprising
Who?
a lot of people,
Who?
but is it Campbell, right?
Yeah, but I just
Billy
never heard of
Campbell,
the guy.
never heard of him either. But if you look at the top 10, top 20 leaderboard, it was big hitters and leading drivers on top.
Yeah, I think we were all over it. We just didn't. We mentioned Pagaita. We didn't put him up as one of our tips, but yeah, any bomber course that's not too rough around the greens. He definitely needs some improvement greenside and with his chipping. But anything that's down to bombing, that guy is an insta bet in the 50s and 60s.
For me, he's got a big he screams a bit like Ludwig Harburg in terms of hits the ball a mile. He is it's probably not the straightest off the tee, but he's so far down. He's
Yeah,
quite good. He's quite good in terms of his, strokes gained tee to green, so that he's giving himself, say, 140, 120 yards. It's just a wedge for him every time. Provided the greens are quite big and it's not like any tight pins. He was hitting
yeah,
everything to like 10 to 20 feet. So if you have a good putting week, which you did, you're gonna make a lot of
yeah.
birdies.
I don't know if that's a one-off or if he is generally a good putter, but I think he gained 9 strokes putting and led the field, which is the least sticky of all the stats. But he's obviously got it in his locker that he can do that going forward. So
I think he was 16 under, which is a record down there for after 36 holes. We were messaging in the group chat, not Marv, because Christ, he's hibernating at the minute.
working on him.
Um, and they're watching this. I'm actually watching the golf, and he's hold another one 15 feet, and then obviously his short game is easily his Achilles heels, and he'd leave himself like 20 feet for par. Like Jesus Christ, he's still 20 foot for par. He made two huge putts in that final round from
Oh
18 and
yeah,
20 feet. I think 8 and 10 after duffing his chip. You think, Christ, like we discussed him last week, and I was thinking I'll be devastated if he wins because I
yeah.
watch him. He did it at Torrey Pines, and he's in the final group and he shot 5 over. And then at the South African Open near the end of last year, he did the same. And he's in the final group and he shot 4 5 over. I remember us messaging on the day he made at a par three, made a treble bogey because he was short I think short in the rough, and he sent it into the other bunker, duffed his ship, left himself 5 feet, misses that, and you think, well, this kid he's not that good. But if he was to sort that one aspect of his game out, he'd be an
Yeah.
absolute star. He's only 20. His ball
I
speed's
heard heard
191.
he's got Ernie Els coming in to teach him some around the green game, so it's going to improve.
He's a great player, bro. Huh? He's gonna be a big champion one day.
But
Um,
yeah, I think the bookies. I think they dodged a bit of a bullet from other podcasts I listened to. I think there was a lot of money
some people.
on that kid at 66s. And to that bounce out of the
You're gonna
trees in the
mention that
playoff.
playoff all that,
I
yeah.
mean, what a just bouncing the gods. Like, how did he come out that hot? They're just incredible.
And then to be fair to the lad Campbell, to then take his medicine. I think he laid up third shot, hit to 7 feet, makes birdie. Fair play to him. I don't. He did look a fantastic player. And nobody really pressured. Steven Yeager was very poor in that final.
Yeah,
I don't really rate him. I think he's like a flat track bully. Nobody else came anywhere near. Aaron Wright got, I think, tied for the lead on 19 under, and then he made two bogeys in quick succession. Um, but yeah, I don't think the one to kind of, apart from the South African, there's no one that really stands out from last week.
No, I thought Nikolai played well. I was hoping he'd nick a place, um,
Nigga
but
plays
he
Højgaard.
fell just short with a couple of poor par
Who were your
fives down
tips
the
last
back.
week, Mr. Hebb?
It was Nikolai, who I think came T6, but I had him in 5 places, and Valimaki, who had a
He
good
was up
first few
there.
days, but then fell
Yeah.
off and came like T40 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we had a good week. Nobody picked the winner, but and we just missed out on the second place guy. But I think we were all over
I
where we
think
needed
going
to be
forward,
on the board.
yeah, going forward, I think we'll stick with the same policy next year and just back a lot of big prices for lots of places who hit the ball very far. Bit different this week. It's the Cognizant Classic. You now know it's the Honda. I think is it PGA National, Palm Springs.
It is. It
It's the
is.
start of the Florida swing. This is where we've got proper tournaments on the PGA Tour starting. I think we have
Yeah,
the Valspar, don't we? And it's the players, and then everything builds up to the
plays in two
Masters.
weeks, I think.
Yeah, the players is the week before Cheltenham, so we've actually got the opportunity to try and actually build a fund for Cheltenham this time. These are the Cheltenham funds. It's an interesting one this week. It's a lot of, if you look at past winners, it's very much what you call, in my head, ball strike. It's very not spectacular, but quite steady. And it's Chris Kirk, Sung Jae, Keith Mitchell. I remember Ricky Fowler, Bolton up here in 2017, Adam Scott, Padraig Carrington, Russell Henley. They're all of a similar ilk. And you'd say, given his form here, Shane Lowry is probably the right favourite at around I think it's around the 20-1 mark.
Yeah, I think he's top 5 4 times of the 5 times he's played here. So I think he's going to be up there, but I don't see him winning. Like, he's not much of a closer. Like, he does have some big wins in his locker, but he's not he's not a prolific winner on tour, is he? And I'm not going to be backing him as favourite to go and win one of these. Not poor. Well, I guess it is. It's not a signature
Not a
event.
signature event. It's now a distinct two-tier system, isn't it? In tournaments like Mexico
Yeah.
Open, base, and then Valspar and players like.
Yeah. So yeah, I think fair favourite alongside Straka, who's a previous winner here and already won 3 times on tour, two within the last year, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to be stayed away from Lowry in the outright market.
You mentioned Shane as a closer. I'm pretty sure he was in the final group last year and kind of disappointed. He should have won.
He should have won 2 years ago, when it the heavens opened on him on the 18th as the last player coming down the fairway, and he just got hit in one of these Florida monsoons.
And
Straka stole.
When he won in America, I'm sure it was a WGC event, maybe about 2016. I think he beat DJ, and it was quite his big prize around 82 on that day. He's missed some big chances. I know he won at Wentworth a couple of years ago, and him and Rory won the pairs event. Big tournament.
We see they're defending that this year. That was some news I saw on the PGA app this weekend.
Did not hear that. I wish man was on the podcast to discuss. Mean Twig, fucking big ones. Defending champs, baby, go back to back.
Get your card in for next year.
But he's not one. Yeah, he's not a guy you associate with. Okay, I mean, fair enough. Scotty's kind of a law to himself.
But if I got someone like
Straka's closed up.
Sorry,
well. Straka's closed up well, but there aren't that many like killers on tour, especially if you look. The DP World Tour's a different kettle of fish. But if you look at the list of people in behind him,
it's not
Denny McCarthy. Like I love Denny. He's had lots of chances. Russell Henley's had good chances. Berger's coming back from injury still. Sungjae has had a poor couple of years. And then you look at Minwoo Lee, Davis Thompson, Jordan Spieth, and suddenly you're in the 40-1, 45-1 bracket. So
the first proper closer is probably Billy Horschel on the list. Like, everybody above him is probably and it is hard to win, but like you say, it's very rare you find somebody that just goes out and closes tournaments at a high rate when they're in contention. But like, if I back say like Kurt Kitayama this week, and he's in the last group with Lowry on Sunday, I'm not scared of Lowry at all. Even
No,
if Lowry's got like a one-shot lead, I'm not. Yeah, it's obviously not a Scotty or even like a JT or anyone like that. Like, I'm not scared of Lowry on Sunday.
see that many close out really in golf. That many. I think Bryce is quite good in contention. You said Xander, Rory when it's his day. At the same time, Rory's missed out on a lot of times when he probably should have won. So whether that is valid or not, not sure. But of that again, I do like Billy Horschel this week. He's so much comfort. He's so comfortable living in Florida. He's mentioned before. He's a big Florida Gator. That's college football, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Speaking of, he's quite a family oriented bloke. So he says the fact that he can drive home each day is a big plus for him. He did win at Wentworth for a second time last season. He's played well on tour. He won the did he win the Punta Cana last year or Puerto Rico? He
I
won one
think
of
so.
the
Yeah, one of
lesser
the
events, but
yeah.
um, he's very very solid. He had it. I don't know whether he probably should have won the Open Championship. He was in contention. Xanders were pretty flawless in that final round with a bogey 364. You say Xander won it rather than Billy lost it. And yeah, when it's a wide open market like this, I think it's very hard to justify backing someone at 20s when you can back somebody like you said with a bit of a pedigree. I think Billy was he was 50s yesterday morning. That's been called up. He's more or less Betfred is still 50 to win five places. You can still back him Billy Horschel 40 to 1 in 8 places. I think that is probably the best bet from a value perspective you're going to find this week.
Well, he's not going to win, obviously, because we put him in as our one and done selection, and we're like bottom
If
10% of that. So, no, if anyone is listening, don't back him because he's going to not do anything, or he'll start strong and then he'll peer off to a top 40. Yeah,
and
but you're
that's
right.
one call.
That's the range of odds that I'm looking at this week. Um, that 40 to 50 sort of range.
The
The first guy,
same. Go on, go
sorry,
on. No, your first guy you're going to pick is
the first guy I'm going to go with is I'm going to go back to Nikolai Højgaard. As I had him last week at 40s, and he ended up with a T8 or a T6 or something like that after making a bit of a run.
P6. Probably should
Of
be closer.
course, yeah, he played really well. Tee to green, another one that missed a number of 6 or 7 foot putts that we shouting at the app. Um, this course does sneakily need a little bit of length off the tee, even though it does seem like a bit of a ball strikers. They have softened it. It was one of the hardest courses on tour before last year when Honda lost the sponsorship and the field dropped in strength a bit. They have weakened the toughness. There is a lot of water still. But yeah, I think Nikolai played really well. He's still at 55, well, 50. He's on 365 for 8 places. Um, I think he's just as good as anybody in the 25 to 30 range. Um, so yeah, Nikolai Højgaard at 50s is going to be my first pick for this week.
I think the Europeans are quite um, underrated is the wrong term. Are they kind of disregarded because they're not Americans? If you look at the top 10 in the betting, Lowry, Straka, um, both Ryder Cup players. Lowry's a major winner. Straka winner on tour this year. Um, Nikolai 55 to 1. The fact that, yeah, I'm
How
just
well he
looking,
played.
yeah, I'm just scrolling down thinking, why is Taylor Moore a shorter price than Nikolai Højgaard? I know he hasn't won in America yet, but
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, he's a multiple time winner on ZP World Tour. He played in the Ryder Cup last
I mean,
year.
Keith
Uh,
Mitchell's at 45. We know he's not fucking winning.
I mean, like I do like Max Grayson, he should have won when Aaron Wright won last year, and I was on him at 66th. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
I've played him quite a lot this year in like
that quad
fancies.
bogey, but he doesn't look the type. He's
Really,
had chances to win tournaments and he hasn't taken them, so it's very
yeah,
hard.
he's
And another
a little.
guy I'd say who fits that mold, but he's very consistent and he's played. Um, he's probably playing better the last 18 months than he has done of his long tenure PGA Tour. He's Patrick Rogers, who had another good vid last week. Um, yeah, I don't think he's long, but he's really deceptively quite straight off the tee. And like if you look at the stats from last week, driving accuracy wasn't really necessary. Um, he played well a couple of weeks ago in a much harder tournament. What was it the week before when Scotty played?
The Tory
Riviera?
Pine.
No, Torrey. They went back
It
to
was
Torrey, didn't they? With the non-playing at
Genesis. Yeah, it
Riviera.
was the
Genesis, yeah.
Tigers.
He had a really good week there. That was a tough round. So he's playing 3 weeks in a row, probably gone to Mexico in between, but he's probably got the strongest form in the field in terms of recent performances. And yeah, what's
We're
my
still on
back?
Patrick Rogers. Yeah,
Yeah, Patrick Rogers, eight play. What did I say? 8 places. What's 8 places? Yeah, 8 places. Patrick Rogers, 45 to 1, 8 places. That's a fair price. Like him and Billy. When I was looking at the price on Monday, like the two of them, they look the most wrong of those, say, under three figures. And then again,
where did he
I
come?
do like the way I know Howie missed the cut last week, but I think he missed it. He missed it by one. I think he opened with a 69. He was three under. He's probably too big. 190 to one's a bit. Don't say insulting, but that was too big. Same with the Japanese player, Hisatune. He's been nibbled already today, but he played really well. He made some good bogeys, but he made a couple of bad mistakes. He made a double at 16 coming home. So you know what it's like. If you make a double in these types of tournaments, you suddenly go from like T10 to T25.
Yeah,
Um, and it's kind of a bit exaggerated. Um, and the last one is Alejandro Toste, who God, these five have pushed him out today. We might have to go in again. He's 150 to 1 in 8 places, and he didn't do a lot wrong last week. He made a couple of poor putts. He made a couple of poor misses for par inside 5 feet. He had 25 foot for eagle at 18, missed. I think I messaged you. He had a 9 foot of a birdie at 17, missed. Missed a
yeah.
lot of putts.
He was seventh off the tee, sixth around the green, 17th on approach, and then 72nd on point. He lost 4 strokes, so he would have
And
been
that,
right up there if he had a decent, an average putting week.
and that, you know, I always think putting is quite a streaky. Yeah, obviously you need a lot of skill, but you need just run good, basically. And if I think I always think golfers, once you make a couple of putts, you've got that confidence going to the next hole. Oh, well, I've got a couple in the bank now. Even if I miss, it's fine. If you miss like three or four in a row, like 6, 7, 8 feet, next one, oh, I don't want to hit this.
Yeah,
So
Tosti,
yeah,
he's a guy that pops up like some of these other guys down here. Yeah, never really seem to ever catch a place, but yeah, he has that ability.
but you watch him play, and there's something about him. I can't explain it. He's quite fun to watch. He doesn't seem to take it too seriously. He doesn't get too annoyed when things go wrong. He's got a lot of miscuts the last 18 months, and yet he's still there competing at the top end of not big tournaments, but you're on the PGA Tour. So you imagine a couple of those big weeks, it probably goes a long way to securing your card. It takes a bit of pressure off. Um, yeah, that'll be. Do you know what? That'll be my spread for the week. 2 points each way. Billy Horschel 45s. 2 points each way. Patrick Rogers 45s, and a point each way. Alejandro Tosic 140s. Again, I could make an argument for the likes of. I did think Fish played well at a big price last week. Tune played well. Someone like Matthew Pavon has had a poor season. I wouldn't be surprised if him pop back up. And another one that has been really overlooked is Francesco Molinari. Um, I think he made the first top 20 finish for a while.
Yeah, I was
Frankie
shocked
Molin,
when I saw him on Saturday.
yeah,
What
but
the
Frankie
fuck?
Molinari, I'm pretty sure he moved to Florida because him and Tommy Fleetwood are good mates there, and that European like from about
No
5, 10 years
tax.
ago. If he can find people forget in 2018, 2019, he was the best player in the world. He should have won the Masters in 2019. He won the Open Championship when it was a stacked leaderboard with Tiger, Xander. I think DJ was there. I'm sure Rory was up there, and he won by ended up winning by 2 shots. A great final round. But yeah, I'm not going to tip him up because it's very unlikely. Right? Obviously, it's 275 to 1, but wouldn't be surprised. And someone like you've mentioned before, have been you backed at big prizes. Camilo Villegas, he's another one that seems to pop up now and again and just find those good weeks. I think he's had a couple of top tens there before. He's probably too big, around 300 to 1.
Yeah, max 300s. Yeah, not bad.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
he's
look at it.
definitely a
You're
guy
getting
that
300 to 1. You're getting 60 to 1. You get a top 10 finish. Like, it's not bad.
for a guy that can hit like 10 under rounds, which he has on numerous occasions. Like, it's not a bad price.
So that's my breakdown. Give us your three. Oh, you never got 3 tips, do you? 2 tips.
So the second guy I'm going to go is Michael Kim. Sort of around, that around the green player that you were talking about, not around the green approach. Not a massive driver, not a big guy. Last 3 finishes: T2, T13, T13, playing really strong, really well. I'm going to keep riding him at 50s, same price as Nikolai. I think really good chance to be in the places and potential to be fighting out for the win on Sunday. So yeah, Michael Kim, number 2.
Who would you say is the most likely winner this week?
Not likely winner. Straka.
I think the same as well. I think that as well.
I think he carried on after he won, right? I think he had some decent performance. Like, he didn't just win and then fall off. He's maintained a decent, consistent level of performance.
Should we change our one and done? Probably should, right?
Probably should, given that we both think he's got the best chance of winning, and who cares about how popular it is? Because
and then if Billy Horschel wins, so sick. That's the one.
That's why we didn't cash.
It's like the ultimate double anti-block. It's like the sick of the guy to third, but they're still bouncing. It's anything on the ZP World Tour. I'm guessing you had a busy week of doing nothing, right? You still didn't watch any.
I have not looked at DP, and I've not looked at Live either.
Didn't even know where Live was. The DP World Tour was the Scouse lad. I think it's a Scouser. John Parry. It's big Everton fan. Wow, he's 28 to 1 this week. That is really big. He played really well. He had a good week. He had a bit of a wobble in the third round. It was a final pairing with Benjamin Hebert, French guy who played awful. And I was thinking, when you're playing with somebody who's playing that bad, I think he kind of dragged you down. South African guy called Jack Kruschik or Kruishik had an unbelievable round. He made some clutch birdies. He made a big birdie at 16 in the final round to go. I think he went 2 clear with 2 to play. It was 3 clear with 3 to play. It was 16, obviously. 2 to play. But Parry played really well. He's probably a pretty good bet this week at 28. Steve Burmester. Has he left Live? Why is he playing here in South Africa?
I don't know. Maybe he's got a special exemption because he's a SAFA. I don't know.
Most likely. But yeah, I think he's probably a big price, and it looks as well absolute minefield. Like I don't know how you could have a confident selection. Like it is an unbelievable. Who did I have last week? Jacob Ollison, the young, recently turned pro Dane, who was T3rd with 9 holes to play and played them last 9 holes in +3 and finished, I think, was it tied 8th? No, tied 30, back in 12 places. So, yeah, don't get involved. I will say there's a Chinese player to watch out from there. He wears a big floppy hat, like he should be in the field somewhere. Zhao Jin. He holds some unbelievable putts. Zhao Jin. Yeah, that's why I got the name wrong. They phrased it wrong on odds check now. But he's probably worth a double. But John Parry, very strong this week, 28-1. Back him if you are following in South Africa. Hep, confirm your tips for us again, please.
Both at 50s. Michael Kim and Nikolai Højgaard.
Michael Kim and Nikolai Hogarth for Mr. Hep. It's Billy Horschel, King Billy Hope 45s, and Patrick Rogers. I'll be Rogering at 45s if he gets the business. And Alejandro Toste, still overpriced. Up the cheese toast at 140 to 1. We will hopefully have a couple of places there. If not a winner, I'll be back next week for the. I think it's the Valspar next week. I'll have to double check. Well,
no, it's the Arnold Palmer.
It's the Arnold Palmer. So all the boys will be out of Bay Hill. It's the signature event. Rory and Scotty, Xander will be back. Mark will be back, but
Scotty love job.
Scotty love job for Hep because he likes to seek out value. He's been Hep, I've been Twig. The City Bandits will be reunited hopefully next week. Ta-ra!